Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here this morning. Got a great show lined up. Got a report coming from the pier real quick. But first of all, our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. High today is 77, low 63, and the water temperature is warming up a little bit more. It got back up to 65, but man, it sure took a dip, and it's amazing how boom, boom, it went down and back up real quick. Let's take a look at our river readings. The Apalachicola of Bluntstown is looking pretty good over there. It's 8 foot reading at Bluntstown is going to stay that way for the weekend, and it's going to be, we're really going to be around 7 for the weekend. So it's getting close to getting right, as the locals say. You got to get right. The Choctawhatchee at Caryville dipped down last night, but it's going up this morning and getting on up there. The reading right now is 5.7, but it's getting up about by Thursday and Friday. It's going to be up around 6.5. So a lot of folks are planning some weekend fishing activities. So it's going to be some good times. Our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. We're just in some flat out neat tides for the next 3 or 4 days. There's just not much tidal flow going on at all. So we're going to just have to depend on some good fishermen just finding them up in the holes and all, because it's not going to be much of a tidal flow. Okay, let's get a quick report. I've got Kerry on the phone here, and we're going to touch base with him and see what's going on at the pier. Kerry, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, great. Well, first of all, thank you for taking the call. What's going on out there?
Well, that cold front slowed it down, and we were really doing good when the water was at 70 degrees, but it dropped down to 62.
Okay, now when it hit 70, tell us some of the things y'all were catching out there.
Oh, we were catching king mackerel early, too early. Spanish. There was several cobia caught, and lots of redfish.
Well, you and I were talking about it was a little surprising for those kings to come in before the Spanish, really.
Yeah, it was. This has been a starting off strange year. It's not normal.
Yeah.
They actually caught first king on Sunday a week ago, and then about Thursday. About Tuesday, the kings really turned on. They caught a bunch of them. Tuesday and Wednesday, bunch of king, big ones too.
Wow.
And that cold front came in and it, dropped the temperature real quick and it shut them down.
It's amazing how that weather would just flat out shut them down like that.
It did, but they'll be back. They just moved offshore to where it's warmer, and they'll come back in.
Okay, so we're looking at this weekend. If some folks wanted to come out there and fish the pier this weekend, what would you recommend them bringing the fish with, and what the target do you think?
Well, I would. There should be some Spanish this weekend. It's warming on up. They caught a few Spanish today.
Mm-hmm.
I believe tomorrow and the next day the Spanish will turn on again. And I think the Spanish will be there. And probably king mackerel if it gets warm enough. And there'll be plenty of redfish. Maybe some sheep's head. They've still been some hanging around the pilots.
Well, good deal. And you think a lot of folks just throw those gotcha plugs?
Yeah, the gotcha plugs, the Clark spoons, the bubble and straw rigs.
Okay. No secret way to do them. We all know how to do it. Just got to get out there and do it, right?
That's right. Get over there. Don't crowd them out, but just watch whoever's catching fish and see how they're doing it.
All right, listen, I'm
on questions.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Just watch what's working, and you do the same thing. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, listen, I'm gonna be bringing some of my students out in a couple of weeks now. Y'all gonna have room for us?
I believe we will.
Okay. Thank you so much, Kerry.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you later. That's Kerry directly from the pier at Panama City Beach, and he's really good about letting us know what's going on. And as you say, as you see, they're catching those Spanish, and you know how to do it. Just have to get out there and do it. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. We're going to start our picture parade, and I talked to somebody the other day, telling me how much they enjoyed seeing these pictures, and I flat sure enjoy bringing them to you because, again, as I always say, it gives just a great synopsis of what's going on in our area. within the last 3 or 4 or 5 days, and it's all fresh pictures. And so let's get started. It's spring gobbler season. How about every now and then I like to see a black and white picture. This is Pam Peterson Kelly took this picture of her husband, Junior Kelly. He played running back for me way back in the day, and Junior's an electrician, a fine hunter and a fisherman, fine outdoorsman. Good job on that gobbler there, Junior Kelly. Okay, now this is a cool picture. In fact, I'm going to show this young lady twice because I'm very proud of her. First of all, of course, she goes to Mosley, and I get a lot of these Mosley kids because I'm out there all the time. And this is Caitlin Rogers. This is a 10-inch beard. He got a 1-inch spur, and her granddad's Byron Rogers. Y'all may know Byron. Look at another picture. Isn't that a great picture? She plays on our golf team. She's a golfer, believe it or not. So that's a good combination, a golfer and a hunter. So good job, Caitlin Rogers. Okay. Let me go and mention this about the Flathead Catfish Tournament because it's in line right here. I know you can't read all of it, but it's coming up, and this first tournament is going to be April 24th, 25th at the end of this month here. So be aware of that. We're going to talk about along the way. Be in Bristol first, then over in Choctawhatchee, over there on their river, and then down in Weewater last two. It's a neat little thing, but just go ahead and you can put it on your calendar or go online and check it out. Have one each month, April, May, and July and September. Okay, Jeff, I need to skip through this right here. Let me get back to these other pictures. So, okay, now, I think I got it here. This is, okay, here we go. Now, this technology, you just got to keep up with it. Here's a good picture here. This is, you're talking about some freshwater fishing and different things and all. This is Brant Marshall. Brant fishes saltwater and freshwater, and this is up at Deer Point Lake. He caught and released this big bass Sunday afternoon. Brant's a good fisherman, and Deer Point Lake has really been hot this last week or two. Good job, Brant Marshall. And here's a Sunday also, Ronnie Barwick. Ronnie Barwick on the drum. Good job, Ronnie Barwick. This is a saying for my fellow teaching friends. I am a teacher. I am not in it for the income. I am in it for the outcome. And I just tell all my fellow teachers how much I appreciate them. I know a lot of those folks work really hard and really do have some good outcomes. How about this from Choctawhatchee Bay? A recent picture here. Victor Hathcote caught it off of Hogtown Bayou, just off the target ship. Good job, Victor. Well, a lot of time we're showing sunset pictures over the Gulf of Mexico, but they're beautiful off of a lake too. This is Zach McKeithen. This off Lake Seminole, sunset of Lake Seminole, Sunday afternoon. He'd been fishing, and good picture there, Zach. All right. My nephew, Matthew Chester, up there in Bristol, with his two lovely children. This is a gobbler that he got in the river swamp over the weekend, Saturday morning. He really worked hard on this gobbler, but he came down in river swamp out there on the Bluntstown side of the Apalachicola River. Good job, Matthew. Your dad would be proud of you. Let's skip this one here, Jeff. Let's see. That's going to be pretty well. I got some more. Here's Chris Clark that sent this picture. Chris, one of my former students, sent me an email with this. I'm going to read the email. This is, hey, Coach Chester, these are my kids, Brianna Clark and Logan Clark. They are so excited to have caught these reds and would like for you to show them on your show because they watch your show every day. Thanks, Chris Clark. So, Chris, this is obviously Brianna here, and let's show Logan. You got those kids out there fishing. I'm so proud of you keeping those kids out there on the water and fishing like that. That's a good job. All right. And let's see. I got a couple of students over the spring break. They did a good job. This is one of my fourth period girls, Destiny Shea, fishing off the Tender Bridge last Friday night. Off the Tender Bridge. Garrett Calhoun. Now, we talk about being patient and all as a teenager. It's hard to do, but he hunted this bird for 5 days up there in Calhoun County, and on the 5th morning, he knew that gobbler was there, and he kept evading him. But Garrett's been on the show before, if y'all remember. He was our student of the month about 2 months ago, and here's another picture of it here. He and his dad working both sides of the river swamp, and Garrett got him to come out on him. But good job, Garrett Calhoun. Not bad for a senior there in school. This is our buddy, Coach Palmer from Port St. Joe High School Fighting Tiger Sharks. They won the state championship this year. The other day I was in Blue Water Outrigger and ran into them, and we had a great conversation. and he's just an outstanding coach and does a good job there, and he loves the outdoors. And he was in there just like me, just walking around, just enjoying the place. So good morning. Tell all you folks from St. Joe to watch the show. Tell your coach you saw him on TV today, because he'll get a kick out of it. Coach Palmer. Okay, I think that's it. That's some pictures we don't want to see there. that's some throwback Thursdays. I'll show them to you later. And I think, well, let's see. I may have one more. Okay, I do have one more. We just got them scattered in here. This is Jarrett Barnett, his first blue marlin, tagged and released. The dad, fishing with Dad Steve, and also fishing with Caleb Squires. Caleb works down at Tarpon Dock Seafood and all. And one more student over the spring break, Alexis Nolan, in my 5th period class. Good job, Alexis Nolan. And that's going to wrap up our pictures, okay? Let's take a break and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Glad you're with us this morning. I got a couple of emails. Let's get through those. Hey, this was off the one I mentioned the other day on the spring break, on my feelings on spring break. Got some great feedback from you viewers, and I do appreciate it, and let's share some of them, okay? Dear Mr. Chester, thank you for your comments this past Friday regarding spring break. Let us pray that the shooting of 7 people will be the catalyst to convince the Panama City Beach officials to take the necessary steps to put an end to the spring break debauchery and violence. Or will it take another 7 or 70 or 700? It's hard to imagine a more tragic predicament than knowing what needs to be done but lacking the backbone to do it. Great point. Regardless of their next actions, their legacies as leaders will be one of ignominy. So thank you, Bob Bigger. Great one, comment there. One more. This is from Carolyn Poole. I must say that I agree with you 100%. I was in Walmart on 98 last week. I never felt so uneasy in that store before. I know the young people deserve to have spring break, but when it comes to being disrespectful, destroying property, trashing the place, doing anything they want, but just because they're away from home, it saddens me. It saddens me to think what their own parents must feel like or even care after this is all over, nor to mention the bad impression they will leave on Panama City. Money is not everything. Thank you, Carolyn Poole. Carolyn watches the show on a regular basis. Thank y'all for that feedback. That you know, and we've talked about it, and I've got a lot of other comments. And one of the things that fascinated me, an emergency room nurse went ahead and made a post. And she was talking about, she's been an emergency room nurse for 22 years and never, at our local hospital here, and never seen it as bad as it has been this past spring break about kids coming into the emergency room. And she specifically talked about the sexual assaults, which has not hit the paper and all, of a lot of these young girls and all. It just really saddens her as an emergency room nurse and all. So we're going to, hopefully some things will be done, and we'll keep you posted on it. And like I say, I know it has nothing to do with outdoors, but it has something to do with the quality of life in our community, which is a reflection of how we enjoy different things. Now, let's talk about some positive things as far as great things happening. You know, Florida, the word Florida is a Spanish word for land of flowers. And I hope you have an appreciation of the wildflowers, just the beauty of our state, but especially the wildflowers. And as a young kid, I still remember my dad stopping and pulling him side the road, which meant, you know, just stopping, and we'd get out and he'd look at some flowers down like some old honeysuckle. He'd get out. Sometimes he'd pick Mom some honeysuckle flowers, and it smelled so good. And I think that's how I was impressed as a kid about the beauty of these wildflowers that grow in the swamps, beside the road and all. And I've been all over the state of Florida. I won't say all the roads, but I've been on a bunch of roads, and this time of year is beautiful. But there's one spot that just really jumps out at me when it comes to it. And I want to tell you about it. I want to share it. It's like having a favorite fishing hole. You don't want to really tell a lot of people about it yet. You want them to enjoy it also. And some folks know, and folks drive from all over, from Gainesville and Jacksonville and all, to go on this road here. And it's a road I'm very familiar with. Everybody talks about where Teloja is. Well, Teloja is one of my favorite little communities in the world. I love Teloja, and right below it is a little community even smaller than that called Sumatra. Well, that's Highway 65. Now, if you can get this time of year, if you can drive between Teloja and Sumatra, it's a special treat because, see, that goes through the Apalachicola National Forest. So you don't have a gas station here, a convenience store 2 blocks away. It's just one natural road. I love driving through it just in wintertime, so isolated. But now the Department of Transportation over the years have planted some wildflowers, and they've grown up all beside the road. So not just the wildflowers beside the road, but you'll see them back in the woods and all. So I'm going to show you the map right here. Is basically what it looks like. Top of the page is of course Teloja, and the bottom of the page is Sumatra. Okay, and I'm just going to go through all of the different flowers. You can just see. I'm going to go through them fairly fast because I'm getting behind my schedule here. But goldenrod and look at here, dwarf little daisies. All these grow wild, and it is the most scenic drive you will make in the state of Florida. Okay, and now this last map is going to sort of put it in perspective as to where you need to go. You want to go on Highway 20, if you come in on north end, and all those spots are planting. And Gail and I, on occasion, we'll just make a day trip. We'll loop through the top, go through Blountstown, Bristol, take a ride at Hosford, and go south. And you drive through the Apalachicola Forest. You're going to come out there at East Point, and then we'll come back home through Apalachicola and swing back. That's just one beautiful drive. You're not going to get a more beautiful drive anywhere in the state of Florida. And I hope you have an appreciation of Florida's beauty. But this time of year, if you can make that drive, and I get a kick out of these motorcyclists, they know about it, and they'll drive through it, and you can see them just, it's awesome. It really is. So if you can take a Saturday off, take your wife or your family and all, and make a picnic, there's places you can stop and have a picnic. But you're not going to see more natural beauty than anywhere else on Highway 65 between Sumatra and Teloja. But the whole drive of 65 is really good. Okay, so I just wanted to mention that to you so you'd be aware of it. And as outdoorsmen, I think we have a deep appreciation of everything beautiful outdoors, and that's certainly one of them. All right, let's take our final break, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Glad you're with us on April the 1st. We always know what the days that a lot of people be joking about different things. In fact, I still go back to our little junior middle school jokes we would have with our buddies and all walking down the hallway. Say, hey Blair, hey Jimmy, they named this day after you. And they'd say, what you mean? Yeah, they call it April Fool's Day. And we'd just laugh and all. But so be careful of jokes and all today. Let's take a look at our fish and game forecast, brought to us by Mark Coward of Edgewater Beach Realty. Mark's number is 832-6000, and our times today been really hitting a lot in the middle of the day. This is from 10:50 to 12:50. Those 2 hours there, and then around midnight from 11:15 to 1:15. And it's middle of the day is some good fishing. But remember now, we're not going to be in really strong tides, but freshwater it'd be good too. That's the wrong one. We talk about all the different things we like to do and all, and this is one of my, if I had my wishes on what I could do the month of April. April is just a great month in the outdoors. April and May are my two favorite months, and this is my dream calendar for the month of April, okay? All right, this is what I would like to do. I would like to fish every day. I'd like to rest on Sunday, go to church and see all the folks and enjoy that, and then go back Monday through Saturday and fish. This is April 2015. I cannot do that this year because, like most of y'all, I have a job. But when I retire, I promise you I'm going to do that on one of April or May, the first year when I retire. I'm going to actually do that. That's one of my little on my bucket list, to fish every day of the month in the springtime. And I'm going to just alternate freshwater, saltwater, bay fishing, river fishing, creek fishing, pond fishing. And I'm going to do that. So I'll keep this. I can't do it this year, but that's what I wish I could do. Okay, wishing I was fishing. Tomorrow's show, I'm going to have Whitney come on, and I just love having her come on. She's my favorite oldest grandchild. They always asking which one's the favorite, so I just got them. Oh, you're my favorite third grandchild, so she's my favorite oldest grandchild. But they're just getting back from their spring break, and they went down to the Florida Keys. First time they've ever been to the Keys, and went down there for a whole week and took the boat with them. And they had some. They got back Sunday after lunch, and they came over and had supper with us Sunday evening, and we just sat there and laughed. They had the best time. They were just taking turns telling us all the things they did. They were there for about five or 6 days, and they just had a ball. So I'm going to let them come bring some pictures and share some of the things they did in the Florida Keys. And of course, they're going to do some shows off of it, and it's going to be really, really good stuff and all. Okay? Now, let's go to a couple other things. So, in fact, you can either spend the night with us or not. So, now this has nothing to do with outdoors and all. I just ran across the other day. I want to pass it on to you just as a sort of a safety net. I know, because a lot of you folks live out in the, way out in the country, and a lot of times it's hard for law enforcement to get there and all. And this day and age, a lot of a lot of bad things going on. And I was reading where somebody said it's a great idea to take your car keys and put them by your bed as a safety alarm. And it makes a lot of sense because you can go and hit that alarm button right there, and the horn starts blowing. And you know, we all have all kind of security systems around our house and all, but that's a fail-safe one right there. You can scare a lot of people off. So I've not that I'm scared or anything, but it's just a smart idea to sit here with this by your bed and be able to hit that, and that the lights go off and the horn goes off, and that'll scare a lot of people away. And I know y'all are like me. You at your home, you know the kind of noises you have around. You know what dog's going to be barking. There's a little noise here, noise there, and you sort of know. But when you hear something unusual and you hear it again and all, that's something to be alarmed over, and you want to check it out. So just be aware of that. Okay. Now one more thing, real quick. We always talk a lot about outdoor inventions, and my class is getting ready to do some projects on outdoor inventions, and they don't actually have to bring it. They just talk about some things, you know, from their head what they can invent for the outdoors. And of course, I use drones as what a great example, and they're making such progress with it. And I was thinking the other day, we talked about drones before in here, and what a great idea. I think it's going to come pretty soon. I haven't seen anybody talk about it yet, but what about these lifeguards at the beach, especially in rough surf? If they had drones, each of them had a big old drone and have big life jackets or big life rings attached to the drone, and when someone's in trouble, click, 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 and get that drone, fly out right over them, and drop that life ring while someone's trying to swim out to them. That could really be a difference in saving someone's life. So it'd be interesting to see if anybody comes up with that idea. I'm not trying to patent it or anything, but there's all kind of things to make the world a better place as far as inventions are. So if you have inventions you want to share with us, that would be a great one right there to show. And you could actually do that. I think you could have one at the end of each pier, because you see people fishing off the end of the pier, then you see people getting in trouble. So you could do all kinds of things with it. Okay, just food for thought. Got to wrap it up again. I always thank you for watching our show and all the loyalty we have here on Panhandle Outdoors. We appreciate it. As always, just always be sure and do something good for your fellow man today. And you have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.